Okay guys, welcome to this week's edition of market preview. And this week we're going to be looking at three pairs only. We're going to be focusing on three pairs, and that's primarily because I want to keep the videos as short as possible, so I don't have to go analyzing the 7-10 pairs and all that. Just three pairs is absolutely okay. And in this video we're going to be looking at the pound dollar, NASDAQ, and of course gold. So starting on the weekly time frame, we're looking at pound dollar here, and looking at the weekly time frame, we can observe something. And one of the first things we observe is that we can see that we are clearly in a downtrend. All right, we're clearly in a downtrend. This is the market just took a deep dive. When it took that deep dive, and if we're to look at this channel here, we're going to see that we have this channel here. See this bearish channel flowing down here. And when you look at the bearish channel, you see that there is a particular area in the market that the price is respecting. If you look all the way to this area here, you'll see that it sort of lines up historically with what is going on right now in the market. You see how beautifully that lines up. You can call that a line of resistance, support, resistance. So that is actually a key level in the market within that 1.26 to 1.261 to 1.269, 1.27 zone. That's actually the area where you have a major level of support and resistance. Looking at that now, if we drop down to the daily time frame, we also observe one thing. You can see how clear that level is. When you drop down to the daily time frame, you can see how beautifully marked up that level is. Something we marked on the daily time frame, this level of support become resistance. You can see that nice looking double top right there. You can see, you can call this a double top. You can call this a double top, which could be a sign that we're still likely to keep going in the bearish trend. So you can see this double top right here. You can see the market failing to break above on two consecutive occasions. So we see this double top here on the daily time frame, and the market is playing around this zone. But then if we drop down, what can we see further from here? I can see this key level here too. With this, I can pull out this. I can see this key level. And if you notice, I'm actually now drawing support and resistance as opposed to my previous videos. That's because I observe within the markets that you actually have to mark in the levels for you to actually see. I draw the patterns as well, but I notice that actually drawing in the horizontal levels actually helps me see things a lot clearer while I'm drawing my patterns. So that's actually why you're seeing me drawing support and resistance levels. And we had a great week trading like that in the group. In fact, we had about 75% win rate in the group this week, so in the Telegram channel this week. So it was a very beautiful week for us in the Telegram channel. You want to look at that. So back to the analysis, we see this key level here, we see this level, we see this level, and then we see that the market bounced off of that level. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, what do we see? You can see the price. First of all, if we look at this zone, we see how price, no, that's not what I was supposed to do. You see how price broke out of this 1, 2, 3, broke out of this channel, and it looks to me that price is continuing in its bearish momentum. You can see this key level here, you can see this level here right here in the market, which sort of correlates with all the way to this shoulder level here. Initially I thought this was going to be the head and shoulders pattern, but no, then this is this was like one big ass head anyway. It was like a big head, and then maybe you might be looking from the left shoulder down here. Maybe this is a complex head and shoulder, but then we never know what's going on. So you can see this area once again is stopping price. It stopped here. When it broke through, it was a major break. But now this same area here is also stopping price from pushing further in the market. Now, what do we make of this entire story that price is telling us down here? If you look down, you can mark in this level. You can mark in this level as a major level of support. You can mark in that level. But if we drop down to the hourly time frame, that's where we start to see the game clearer for what it is. And what am I seeing in down here in the hourly time frame? First of all, I see this break of structure here, which could potentially be telling me that we might be heading for a buy. And now we also see this level here in the market being broken. We also see this level here being broken in the market. And what do we know? This market could actually turn this area into a support and then push up, or it might as well just collapse altogether. We don't know what will happen next. It might as well just entirely collapse. It could just continue to just trickle down and trickle down and trickle down. But what's going to happen is what we actually don't know. But personally, looking at the pound dollar, I'll be holding a very, very, very bullish bias on the pound dollar, even though we are trading clearly in a very, very bearish market. But we can see that most recently we just broke out of this bearish structure. We came down to this area, we started creating higher highs. We created this low here, we created this low here, then we created another one, we created lower low here, then here, right here, we've created a higher low, and in doing that we created a higher high, and we've created another high at this level. This could potentially be a higher low that would send price up. I don't know, but from what I'm seeing, this is turning around to be, because we violated this downtrend, we violated this bearish structure here, and then we're starting to push up. So this is what I'll be looking at in the coming week, looking at the pound US dollar. So you can see we've had a low here, a lower low, then all we came up, broke this high at this level, created a higher high, created a higher low, and broke that high. So what does that tell us? When the market is breaking highs and then creating higher highs and higher lows, the possibilities of going in an up direction is actually high. The probabilities of pushing up is high. So that is what I will be looking at on the pound dollar. So we're going to wait to see how the market opens up. But personally, I won't be looking to take a trade at this level. What I'll be looking to do is I want to see a clear break of structure at this level. Then when the market pulls back into the zone and I start to see a bit of consolidation, that is where I'll be interested in taking my long trades on the pound dollar. So that's how I'm going to be looking at it. I'm going to wait for this level to break, consolidate around here, then I'll look for my buys, and I'll be having my target all the way up to 26,000. So that is that's what we're going to be looking at on the pound dollar. Dropping down to NASDAQ, what do we have? You can see NASDAQ back to the weekly time frame. You can see this big ass, not much difference from what we had last week. So we have this key level here, we have this area here, and of course we have this area up here. So just something similar compared to what we had last week. And then looking at this area in the market, you see that there's a strong push into the zone that broke this previous high. You see this previous high has been broken, and we broke above that, and we closed with a very high impulse candle above that zone. So you can see that we're in a very, very solid area in the market right now. Well, we're not going to see this clear until we drop down the time frame. You can see how price came into that zone. Very beautiful uptrend we have here. Just look at that uptrend. You can it broke around here, but then it continued. But then how I would look at this is, you see this channel here, you see this area, and you see this area, you see this pattern here. Looking at it, if you were to cater for a bearish scenario in the market. Now, this area here, see the strong area of support, and then this area here in the market. Let me get rid of this long ass one and just cater for this most recent areas here. You see this area here. How the market reacts around this zone is going to be crucial to how we are going to react in NASDAQ. So what could we see happen? We could see the market completely break above this structure here, and then we'll be looking for the retest to join the bullish momentum. Or we could see price, you see this area here, we could see price tumble down from this area. And how are we going to take that? We're going to be looking at the hourly time frame to see how the structure actually clearly looks. So you can see this area here, you can see structure here. What I'm going to be looking at is, you see these lows here, this zone right here. If I get a break and close below this zone, clear break and close below this zone, I'll be taking a short trade. But since this is a very, very high probability, this is a very, very strong bull market, I'm not going to be expecting the market to push beyond this level here. I'm not going to be expecting the market to push beyond this level here before we find the next set of buyers who will be looking to push price up. So that is what we might be looking to see. That is what we might be looking at on NASDAQ. We don't know what will happen for sure when the market opens up on Monday, but we could see price push back into this zone to gather more liquidity to come back and break this high. If it's not able to break it on first attempt here, we could see price roll down, pick up a bit of liquidity, then spike up above this area. So that is what we're going to be looking at on NASDAQ. We're going to be expecting to see how price opens up on Monday to see if we get a break completely above. Then we'll be looking for that retest to go long, or if we're going to have to come back down here and pick up more liquidity before we continue our ride to the upside. So that is what we are looking at on NASDAQ. Now looking at gold, you can see once again a clear chart here. Let's go over to the weekly time frame. Let's get rid of all that. Weekly time frame, gold, what's the direction? The direction is clearly in a bulls market. We're clearly in a bullish market, but then that bullish market has come into a zone, has come into a very stubborn zone. It's heading into a very stubborn zone that has pushed price down. This is an area of very high liquidity where you have a lot of sellers who could be pushing the price down. You can see how in the past, historically, how this area pushed price all the way down to these lows here. So coming into this area, we might be looking to see the same thing happen. What that would mean is that we could get a lot of buy momentum, a lot of buy pressure to push price into this area of liquidity before we start seeing some bearish pressure on gold. So what that means is that overall we could be looking to buy into gold, looking at that on the lower time frame. So let us drop down to, this is the weekly time frame, so let us drop down to the week, to the daily and the 4-hour, and see what price has in store for us. Remember, like I told you, so as you can see, price broke above this area and has since held its momentum above that area. You can see several times the buyers trying to push down. No, there was no luck pushing above. Now we have these zones here to contend with on the daily time frame. We are trading within a range. The market is currently in a range. So let's drop down to the 4-hour time frame, and you can see that consolidation zone right there. This is the zone of consolidation. You can see this price bouncing within these areas. Now, what do we ultimately expect from gold? What we expect is, we saw, okay, I think I took a trade around here. I think it took a quick short trade just to retest these highs. It was a nice double top pattern on the lower time frame, so I took that and then, you know, hit TP around this area. So, well, back into the analysis, we see gold pushing in around this zone, consolidating within this area right here. So now that we know that gold is consolidating within this area, what do we know? One thing we know is, in consolidation, there's bound to be a breakout. Either down here, very impulsive break, and we retest and we sell, or we might be looking to see price push up into this zone, into this high liquidity zone. So what do I mean? What am I expecting? You see these highs here? I'm expecting price to hold up within this region here. You see this region? I'm expecting price to hold up within this region. Now, if you look at that, if we draw in the patterns, you can see this. You can see this pattern right here, and of course you can see this pattern right here. I like to draw that clear on the hourly chart, so I pick out everything the way I'm supposed to pick it up. All right, so this is how I put this. I like to draw from week to week, so I don't know how you draw yours. A lot of traders draw from body to body. Me, I draw from week to week, and I've been consistent with that. So the question is, however you draw yours, just stick with how you do your thing. So now, looking at this, we could see price come into this zone, right? We could see price come into this zone to pick up more liquidity and push to the upside. So I have a bullish bias on gold. We can see price come into this zone, pick up a bit of liquidity, and then buy to the upside. And if at the end of the day we are able to break past this level here, and that's, don't forget, that's our level of very solid consolidation. This is the height of the consolidation. You can see this level here. If the bullish momentum we pick up from this zone is actually going to be strong enough, if we pick up enough bullish momentum from this zone, so what that means is that we're going to push up all the way from here, retest this zone, and then come into this area before we start potentially looking for the big sells on gold, the big sells on gold. So that is what we're looking at gold in the coming week. So that is basically everything that we're going to be looking at. You can see everything is, I've decided to be drawing in the key levels so that I can use that while I'm identifying my patterns. I notice it's more convenient. It gives me a clearer analysis when I'm doing my analysis. So that's why you see the patterns are being drawn along with support and resistance levels. So guys, that's just what we're looking at on gold. We're going to be looking for opportunities for the market to come down into this zone, possibly buy and break above this area, come into this high liquidity zone, and then we start looking for the sells. So that is what we are looking at on gold. So thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, give me a like on this video. Like, so I'm actually trying to grow the channel. We're at 65 subscribers, and man, I hope we can get to 100 this month. So please smash the like button, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, and join the Telegram channel. A lot of things are happening in there. It's a 100% free group. I share analysis like this in there. I give out signals, and it's all 100% free. I don't have a premium channel yet, so everything I'm giving out, I'm just giving it out for free. So guys, please give me a like on the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join the Telegram channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much, and have a great trading week ahead. Let's not forget. Thank you.